Hey, what is up guys, Uriah the Wolf, and welcome back to another behind the scenes video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my process of making scripts for the problem with videos, or even these behind the scenes videos. Now, a really big disclaimer right here. I am not a good tutorial person. The only good tutorials I've actually made include the spaghetti sandwich videos. This video is not a tutorial. Once again, put that disclaimer up. Put it at the top and the bottom of the screen. Put it in the impact text. And make it look like one of those dumb memes. This is just a behind the scenes video of how I personally do my scripts. Let me just go ahead and say that there are 100% better tutorials for how to make scripts. If you do end up taking some from this and get some actual good advice, alright, cool. But that wasn't the intention of the video. Falconic Chaos, however, you should pay attention to this because then it might make your videos less dog shit. Now, for an example of how I do my scripts, let's take a look at the part that I'm reading right now. Whenever I do a script, it doesn't have the same format as a traditional script, my lines being in paragraphs instead of being in separate lines. Whenever I leave a note to do a certain action for editing, I put it in parentheses and also bold and italicize it. Whenever I want to leave a note for myself to emphasize on a word, I'll either make it bold, italicize it, or even just capitalize it without putting parentheses around it. Sometimes, though, some lines either just don't make it into the final project, or I'll reword it differently from the script. Here's an example. The script right here is going to tell me to say, whenever I record audio, I usually don't go word for word on the script. But then whenever I record this part, I'll say something slightly different, but with the same meaning. Whenever I decide to use either a different voice, or when I ask someone like Shiba Inu Ray to read something for a video, I'll preface the line with the name of the voice or person. For instance, when it's just my normal voice, I won't preface it with my name since I'm the main person reading it. But when I read it with a different voice, I preface it with that voice.
The same for when Riley asks me or someone else to record a line for one of these types of videos.
By the way, subscribe to Shiba Inu Ray on YouTube.
Before I go into the next section of the video, let me go ahead and address the elephant in the script. Yes, I do use Comic Sans for my scripts. Well, apparently not anymore, because as I found out while working on the script for the next Walton Files review, after I'd finished this script, I can no longer find it. What the fuck? The reason I do it is because I found that using this font makes it easier to read without stumbling over my words, in comparison to using a normal font. I actually even tested this by making two different lines for me to read. One in the Comic Sans font and one in the normal Arial font. And found out that I stumble over my words less with the Comic Sans font than the Arial font. However, I do still end up stumbling from time to time, as you could probably tell from whenever I started messing up. Whenever I work on these scripts, I usually don't brainstorm and instead just kind of go with how I plan the script out in my head. There's only one real case where I had to brainstorm something, and it's for the script of the Walton Files review. By the way, speaking of Walton Files, I actually ended up watching the first two Walton Files episodes 4 times, and then a 5th time when I started writing the scripts. That's right, I watched those 2 episodes 5 times, and I still missed a few things that I didn't find out until either I started recording the lines, or after I had finished an entire section of a script, editing and all. I even missed something that I didn't even see until the day after I had released the video. Anyways, in that review's brainstorm phase, I would sit there and watch these videos, looking close to my screen to try and figure out what something said, or if there was a chance something could have been hidden. If I had found anything, I would of course make a note of it. This is also where a good amount of the jokes came from, because I would make the joke to myself while watching it and then say, hey, that's pretty good. Let's make a note to make that joke. Some of them made it into the video, while some of them didn't. Now, I'm not saying I didn't do any kind of brainstorming for any of the videos where I used the script. It just wasn't in the traditional way of doing it. For the problem with Minilad video, for example, I would look through any videos, files, and images about the situation and build the script around those. The same can be said for, well, just about any of the problem with videos, honestly. I only did the traditional way of brainstorming for the Walton Files review because I knew it would be a lot of information to remember while writing the script, so I instead made it easier on myself by making the notes. I usually have 2 methods for how I choose the gameplay footage for the background of these videos, and one is definitely used more than the other. I either just use footage of whatever game I feel like having in the background, or just ask with a Twitter poll with different games as options, and let my Twitter followers vote on it. I only used that method once, and it was for the last behind the scenes video I did. Whenever I decide what game I want in the background, I then make sure to record about 25 to 30 minutes just to make sure I have enough footage for the entirety of the video. Whenever I use Call of Duty for my background footage, like I'm using it for this video right now, I cut out the parts where I'm searching for a new game and only leave in the actual gameplay. For most other games though, I don't really have to do this. I record my lines onto a microphone hooked up to my editing laptop while reading them off of my other computer. In order to have enough space to make the entire video, I'll sometimes record sections of the script, edit that entire section together, save that to a flash drive, and then I'll repeat that process until the entire video is done. I mostly section off the recordings where the title cards pop up, so basically when you saw the recording title card a few moments ago, I most likely didn't even record this on the same day as the other sections. And that's basically it. That's how I make my scripts for these types of videos. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this behind the scenes video. This video was actually suggested by Ultimate Explosive Gaming's reply on my last behind the scenes video. It took me a bit of time to get to it, what with the DM Ultra grind, remastering a book I finished in high school, and a bunch of other things that got in the way of me making this sooner. But I got to it. If you guys have any suggestions for any future behind the scenes videos, make sure to comment them down below, and I'll try my best to get the suggestion out as quickly as possible. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!
Yeah, 24/7, 365. Waited too long, now it's my shine. I'm stunning when I'm running in the limelight. You steady running your mouth, cause I rhyme tight. 24/7, 365. Waited too long, now it's...
What up, man? What's up?